Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do the March 11th Spiritual Principle a Day in a Meditation. Hope you're doing well this morning. There was a little bit of gap of time between recordings. Okay, had a little emergency I had to handle, but all is well. The title of this meditation today is Forgiving Our Imperfections. Recognizing our own humanness gives us the capacity to forgive others and not be as judgmental as we have been in the past. That comes from the NA Step Working Guide, Step 9, Spiritual Principles. By working steps 4 through 8, we confront the person who's kept our lives in turmoil. Oh no, it's me. In this rigorous process, we face our disease and our humanity. We unpack and pick apart lifelong grudges and current resentments against people who hurt, judged, and rejected us. Often we're shocked to learn we had a significant part to play. Engaging fully in the recovery process gives us a more realistic awareness of our flaws and limitations. We see a connection between our acting out and our very human need for safety, love, and acceptance. We learned that a lack of empathy for our own missteps has driven our judgments of others. Our capacity to forgive is inseparable from our capacity for empathy. In the 9th step, we strive to make peace with our own humanness. We expose our imperfections to those we've hurt. In an attempt to right our past wrongs, we humbly apologize. We change our behavior so we won't repeat past errors. We're often, but certainly not always, forgiven for the harm we've caused. This process offers us a striking lesson in empathy. Acknowledging and accepting our own imperfections is key to accepting imperfections in others. Let me repeat that. Acknowledging and accepting our own imperfections is key to accepting imperfections in others. We forgive ourselves for the times we let self-centered fear guide our actions. Instead of judging others for similar impulses, we can choose to forgive them, actively seeking to accept them as they are. Experiencing others' judgment and rejection, both in everyday life and when our attempt at making amends is rebuffed, increases our capacity to feel empathy and to forgive others. Our own pain becomes a source of strength, and we can draw from the well of self-acceptance we've created through our experience with the steps. Today, I will take a balcony view of my judgments of others. Instead of cataloging their flaws, I will acknowledge their humanness because I'm also human and worthy of empathy. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the wee version of Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference just for today. Please and thank you. That's an amazing meditation, goes right hand in hand with the just for today, because we're talking about being able to allow others space and room to make mistakes. And in doing so, we allow ourselves space and room to make mistakes. Having empathy for others when they make mistakes is just such a huge relief. It's just such a huge relief to them, right? Because what happens when you make a mistake? I can tell you what happens when I make a mistake. The first thing I'm thinking is, man, I wish I had been more humble. Wow, I wish I had been a lot more humble about this situation, because now I'm going to have to go back to this individual and I'm going to have to admit my wrong, admit my error, and put myself before them, lay myself before them and ask them Can you please forgive me? Can you pretty please forgive me? I feel so bad about this. Right. So my mind, when I make a mistake, I already go through the steps of trying to make it right. And it just is so overwhelming. But when I do the work, when I make prompt amends and I get myself over to them and I do all of that with them, right? Sometimes not even totally sure that it's all my fault, but I just don't want my side of the street to be dirty, right? And so when I do that, and they was like, "Huh? What are you even talking about?" I don't even remember the conversation quite frankly. I don't even remember. What? You were trying to throw shade, and then they get offended after I tell them what I actually did. Then they really get offended, right? No. Right? So a lot of times it's like that. They were clueless that we had all this other junk going on in our interaction with them. And now we're like, I'm sorry. And they're like, huh? Is that what you oh, now I really do have a problem with you, right? It's kind of comical that we still go around with 30 something years making mountains out of molehills. I do that. If Mighty Stream does it, I'm quite sure you can relate because I believe it's quite human nature. But I want for you today to take this balcony's view of every situation, every encounter, because every encounter, every situation from a balcony's view, you could almost see. Like I'm imagining myself in an old Western movie and I'm up on the balcony and I'm looking out over the dusty town and people riding the horses, right? Right. I'm imagining myself seeing, the trouble, right? Most wanted, reward, dead or alive. I see the trouble ride into town for a robbery, right? I see them ride into town and I think to myself, oh, snap, they're coming to our town, right? I can see from a balcony's view. I can see what's coming down the pike. And as those horses ride in front of where I'm at, I'm able to see who is who this actually is, right? I'm able to recognize the character defects. I'm able to recognize the situation. I'm able to see from the balcony's view what went on before, what's happening right now. And as they ride off into the sunset, I can see the problem going, right? There's so much wisdom in attaining a balcony's view of your judgments of others, right? It's so helpful for you to be able to do that because what does it do? It puts things in perspective and it makes things a lot more palatable and manageable, right? This is a huge meditation. I wish I had had this meditation in front of me as I was trying to explain the just for today, right? Because this explains the just for today perfectly. I could not do it better. I want for you to have a beautiful day on purpose. I intend to talk to you tomorrow.